We gotta hire a cameraman. Okay. Charles LeBlanc here. I'm sorry, it's not a blue sky. We are in, I gotta make sure. We are in St. John. It's raining. It's, you know, it's St. John. It's, there's no fog. But I've been around all morning, getting ready to go to Redhead. Saw a few people, won't mention any names, but like the issue I want to talk about is one guy just tackled me in the elevator, the Delta, won't mention any names. Concern, a lot of people are concerned also, is the reversing fall bridge. They want a net to be posted under the reversing fall bridge, a net. A giant net or barriers to stop people from jumping off the bridge. Now, it always been suicide. Matter of fact, we had a bad one in Fredericton last week. Suicide has always been around, and suicide will always be around. Someone come with an idea. I mean, St. John is depressing enough, the fog, and you can't work. If you don't dedicate your life to the Irving Empire, you will be on the blacklist. And once you're on the blacklist, it's like Saddam Hussein in Iraq. He'll go after you, he'll go after your whole family, the Irvings will, and make sure you don't work, or you're forced to leave the province, or you commit suicide. That's the way it runs here. This is the silent truth in New Brunswick. Okay, as for the reversing fall bridge, put a net. In my opinion, that is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. A net. I mean, come on. I mean, if you put a net, the province pays money to put a net under reversing fall bridge. They'll have to put a net at Harbour Bridge. They'll have to put a net at the PM Bridge in Fredericton. They'll have to put a net in the Westmoreland Bridge in Fredericton. They'll have to put a net by Jensey. They'll have to put a net in Miramichi. They'll have to put a net between Cableton and Quebec. They'll have to put a net in Edmundston. They'll have to put a net in St. Stephen. I mean, it would cost millions and millions of dollars to put nets so a person don't commit suicide. I always said, you want to commit suicide. When I rode my bicycle from Halifax to San Francisco, go to San Francisco, go on the Golden Gate Bridge, but now they have try to stop people from committing suicide. So the idea is good to help people with mental illness, to help people that's depressed, they can't find work, or addiction or drugs. But to start putting nets, no. Put a phone, put posters, you are not forgotten, you are not neglected. Please phone, put a hot phone in there if you want to. But to put a net, sorry, what they're going to do, they're going to go, they're going to pass the nets. There's cliffs that they could go, they still go in reverse and fall. So I think if you put a net, no, that is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. Beside our beep language commissioner recommendation, this is a bad one.